today we will try to know certain things about a department. Kindly introduce our viewers with the department and its history.
Okay, the School of Business is the one of the latest edition of the institute, IIT Guwahati. We started conceptualize these schools in 2021. Then our first batch, MBA first batch, started joining in 2022. We have the second batch last year, 2023. So there was always a need for a MBA school or a management school in an IIT, because the kind of ecosystem which have in IITs always have the requirement to move to the next frontier of where we talk about technical or technocrats becoming a manager and all those things, where most of the technical problems needs to be solved from a managerial perspective. So that was one of the reasons where we started with this School of Business. Okay, and this was also an extension of the requirement for the NEP 2020 and all those things also. Yeah.
So for a student who is willing to study here, what is the eligibility and what are the future prospects?
Okay, so if we look into the process, the kind of a selection criteria which we have formulated for the MBA program, we have looked into a particular mix of screening criteria which give weightage to the CAT score. We give even weightage to some of the people who already experience. Okay, so maybe the major weightage will be given to people who have done their undergraduates and they have 1 or 2 years of experience, and they want to move to the next level, which is the senior level or a middle level kind of thing. So we have separate weightage for that. So for example, if you look into it, the process which we use is that we have a 2-level kind of a screening process. In the first screening process, we give certain weightage to the CAT score, and we give certain weightage to their performance in the 12, performance in their undergraduate, and then the experience. In fact, in the initial stage, we have even have a more preference for the ladies also there, where we give an extra 10% weightage to the lady students, so that I think the mix of gender diversity is there in a particular program. Okay, then after that we have our own second stage where we have a personal interview with giving certain weightage to their CAT score and all those things. That is how we have formulated it. Okay, where this is not basically based only on their academic performance. We have given weightage to the gender diversity. We have given weightage to people who have already gained 1 or 2 years of experience also. So it's a kind of a mix where in a classroom you're going to get both freshers, you're going to have 1 or 2 years of experience who have been in the field, who will come to the program with their own technical and the work related experience into the particular program. Okay.
So what kind of work experience? Can there be anybody with any experience?
Mostly I think we expect their work experience in some of the companies which have been which comes under these companies Ministry of Corporate Affairs, that is, it should be certified by them. So that kind of work experience we look into at least. That is what. Okay.
So many IITs have this executive MBA program recently launched. Is there your center willing to launch this kind of program?
We have that as a vision of it. Okay, the first step is to start with this plain vanilla MBA. This is a backbone of any MBA program, because whatever executive programs you're talking about, they also have not jumped on to the executive MBA first of all. They started with a plain vanilla. Then once they have the core expertise in place, then only after that they can diversify into these executive MBAs catering to a particular industries, or maybe specialized MBAs like MBAs in a particular stream and all those things. That is a trend which is normally followed by most of the B schools, and this is also how we are also proceeding in that direction.
Okay. Yeah. So what is the funding source of this department?
So this is already, I think, MOE, I think it's part like any other department. I think we have funding like that. And if you look into the kind of resource generation which you have it, the kind of fees which we have is almost at par with the fees which are being collected by some of the B schools in some of the old IITs. Okay, so that is also one source of funding through which we generate our funds for that. But every funding is through the same like any other department, where we get our budgetary allocations from the institute pool and all those things. Okay, not like any funding from other agencies to set up this particular school. No, it's another academic division of the particular IIT. We get our budgetary allocations in that way only, like any other department.
So like we have seen that many startups are doing very good these days. Like Assam has won the best startup or Assam startup as a leader by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. But we know that after qualified with these kind of programs, some changes will come. Will IIT MBA help the upcoming entrepreneurs, or it is just an academic program?
I can take your question in two different directions. Okay, if I look into the typical my MBA students who are going to get out from here, we are getting a couple of startup companies, I think, who wants to recruit them. Okay, so that startup has already get into a stage where they want to employ our MBA students to pass out. Okay, another way of looking into a particular problem is to convert these job seeker to job creator, okay, which is what you're talking is a startup. Okay, so that is something where maybe in a few batches down the line, I think that culture will come up with time. And this the kind of a curriculum which we have has a flexibility for them to venture into those directions also, because I think we have people from CS, we have people from mechanical and all those places where some of the startups are conceptualized in those areas. Okay, so the curriculum has its own unique features of having the flexibility to do a project with some of the associated faculty members belonging to some of the parent department of IITs, where they can take up a very important ideas which can be converted to a startup and bring it here and give the flavor which is required from an MBA perspective and do that. We already have that. I think this is one of the programs where we have a unique characteristics of having a 3 terms of project where they have to work on the topic, a project which they can even convert to a startup if they are very enthusiastic about it. Yeah.
So like today I saw in one of my Instagram of Wall Street Journal that many big B schools, what is happening, they're running out of jobs like Stanford, Harvard. So what coping mechanism you have here so that if they do not find job, they can do something like this one startup or anything more effective?
See, I think the expectations of your graduates may also have an impact on what kind of jobs they want to do it. Okay, if some of them are very enthusiastic and has a very high risk appetite, they can jump in and start with a startup company also. But most of the aspirant, most of the graduates, okay, may be looking for a typical kind of a job, okay, where I think maybe the technology is taking over and then where the shift has to be there in the employment market and all those things. That could be reason for that. But having said this, I think if somebody has that appetite, I think they can always jump into a different mode, okay, where they are already equipped with the basic necessity things to handle those requirements. If they want to shift from a typical kind of a MBA related jobs to maybe become an entrepreneur in that particular stage, although where they are already equipped with the business related knowledge for this. Okay.
So who according to is an ideal manager?
That's different people is going to have different idea of an ideal manager. Okay, some will say that an ideal manager is one who is able to use his resources, okay, most effectively, and at the same time take care of the goals of the stockholder. Okay, so that could be one way of looking into it. So depending on the paradigms where you are, okay, so every manager has his own way of working out. Okay, but one of the objective of being a manager is to fulfill the objectives of your particular goals and objective of your particular organization. Nowadays, I think that has been extended to include your CSR responsibilities and all those things. Managers are required to go beyond the profit and whatever margins, objectives, all the way to the corporate social and then sustainability objectives and all those things. Well, as a result, what happens is that the goal of a manager is increasing with time in the coming years. Okay, so it will be at this moment, I think I will say that I think the basic objectives of maximizing the profit, okay, then at the same time we also have to start thinking about externalities from a particular objective, externalities from a particular organization is being felt by the society around it. So managers should be looking for that also.
So now I want to know that what kind of help you have given to the Assam government for the upcoming budget. Has the government approached you for any suggestions?
No, as of now, I think we don't have anything on that. We don't have anything on the budgetary part of it. We have not got anything. But if we get anything, I think we are there. I think we have our colleagues, I think, who will be willing to help the government in whatever ways is possible. We are always open to help the institutes and the governments in Northeast area, which is also one of the mandates of IITs. Okay.
So, sir, finally, what is the placement record? It is the first batch only.
And this is the first batch. I think the placement is going on. I would say that the placement is very promising. Okay, some of them already got offer. Some of them have been already given offer, but they are still looking for a better package also. Placement is quite promising, even with the first batch also.